Good evening. Welcome to our Friday night quiz on the 22nd of May. We're going to wait until everybody's here before we start, and then we've got a whole bunch of fun lined up for you. It's going to be good. If you are here, hi, thanks for coming along. Feel free to give us a wave, tell us who you are, where you are, and
Team name.
team name.
Who's in your team?
Who's in your team?
What are you drinking? And what are you eating? Because we like to know.
We do like to know. It gives us motivation, or not motivation.
Inspiration.
Inspiration for dinner next week. Because after 4 weeks of nacho talk, we finally had nachos last week, which were delicious. Not gonna lie.
And we've got fajitas tonight.
And we're gonna have fajitas for dinner. Hello to the O'Neills, Tracy and Simon. It's good to have you along. Thanks for coming. We're up to double digits, which is cool. We got more people coming in. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Hopefully we've got no technological disasters like we did last week. Thank you to everybody for persevering with us last week and coming back in when we did have our technological disaster. Hello from Dawson's team winners last week. The Baileys are here, the McGee's are here. That's cool. Welcome.
We can do a shout out. Happy anniversary, Mum and Dad. Happy 44 years.
That's cool. That's cool.
We've got the Currans. Paul says, look at your do. Yeah, it's getting long.
It's getting wild. I haven't had it this long since I was probably
A kid.
a kid. It's wild. Not sure how I like it. But anyway, it's still here. The Frasers are here. My two aunts are here, Lucy and Margaret. Welcome. Thanks for coming.
Renegades
Renegades are here. That's cool.
with veggie burritos.
Veggie burritos.
Wow.
Nice. Is that the first? Is that the first food?
I think that's the first people to tell us.
What you're eating?
Mum and Dad have got an emoji of a red wine glass and chocolate. So
Red
that's
wine and
good.
chocolate. Hello to Karen and Alan. Thanks for coming along. We still don't have any spectacular team names. Just the team and the surname. That's usually the way we're going. Bonus points available for the coolest team name out there. We'll give it another minute or so just to make sure everybody is here and got themselves set up. You need, as always, a pen and paper to write down the answers to the questions I will ask you. And then we will run through all the questions again at the end. Before I give you the answers, and then we'll tot up the score. And I just realised I haven't done the total score
Or you do that
yet,
now.
so I will do that just now.
We got Estrella, beer, nice choice, spaghetti, wine, and chocolate. Wow. Really good dinner choices. We're doing fajitas and Prosecco. Because it's a Friday fizz. The quiz is out of
50!
50
It's
this week.
almost like I knew what I was doing and I made it a round number. 50, 50, 50. So we got 50 points available for today. And it is approaching 5 past. I think everybody is here. If anybody comes in late, then we can always repeat any questions that we miss or they miss. Are we ready, team? Pens at the ready, thinking caps on the go. We are going to start tonight with some sports. Okay? Because, you know, we're a fitness company, we should really kind of do some sporty stuff. We have some sports for you. The first sports question is worth 2 points. And the question is, the 2019 Solheim Cup took place where and who won? Hello to the Purvis family. Thanks for coming. It's nice to have you with us. You here to claim back your crown? You have to work hard. So the 2019 Solheim Cup took place where and who won? I don't even know what sport it is. Maybe. Cool. You got that? You should have hopefully 2 answers for 2 points. But we'll come over that when we get to the end. Question number 2. Still with sport. Which English golfer won the 2013 US Open? No options, you just need to know the answer. If you don't know the answer, just think of a famous English golfer and maybe write it down. Which English golfer won the US Open in 2013? Cool. Just 1 point for that one. But well done if you know it. Moving on, going back in time again. Whose ear did Mike Tyson nibble during their fight in 1997? It was just a little friendly... You know, just sometimes what you see lions do to their friends. Whose ear did Mike Tyson nibble during their fight in 1997? Cool. Next question has 3 options. Okay. And it's also fairly recent. I was very pleased with myself last week at the recentness of
Up-to-dateness?
Up-to-dateness? I don't know. Of one of our sports questions. This isn't quite as up-to-date, but it's still this year. What horse won the 2020 Virtual Grand National? Was it A, Tiger Roll, B, Walk in the Mill, or C, Potter's Corner? So this year's Grand National was virtual. And what horse won the 2020 Virtual Grand National? Tiger Roll, Walk in the Mill, or Potter's Corner? If you don't know, you've got 33.3% chance of being right. So pick one, A, B, or C, and then we'll move on. Last question in sports, and this is worth 2 points. Okay? The question is, at the opening ceremony for the Olympic Games, the teams parade in alphabetical order with which 2 exceptions? So which 2 teams come out of order? At the opening ceremony for the Olympic Games, the teams parade in alphabetical order with 2 exceptions. Please tell me those 2 exceptions. We have a question. And it says, was it an English or British golfer for question number 2? I did say English golfer. Yeah, so somebody south of the border. Which English golfer won the US Open in 2013? It was question number 2. Okay, so that is all the questions for the sports rounds. If you missed anything, please do let us know. Otherwise, hopefully you have a maximum of 7 answers for 7 points. If not, quickly write something down. And then we're going to move on to what has been a rather well-enjoyed round of book covers. Okay? However, I totally forgot that I said to myself last week, don't use any black covers because they reflect too much and it's really hard to see. Totally forgot until I'd done it. And about 10 minutes ago I realised I've got 2 black covers and people are going to struggle to see. So you're just going to have to suffer with 2 black covers, and hopefully you can see as much as you can. Now hold it as close to the camera as possible so that you can see as much detail as you can, and there's not too many dirty dishes on the other side of the kitchen that you may see. There's a glass, a cheese grater, and a mug. Okay, so the first book, I would like you to tell me what the title of the book is and who wrote this book. Okay? Here it comes. Lovely reflection. Do you see?
What happens if you put it really close to the...
Well, I can't go any closer than that because then the top and bottom will be chopped off.
Yeah.
So that's as close as I can get. Hopefully you can see.
I'll check it on this screen.
If not, I can change the angle. There's my fridge. That's book number 1. So I would like the title of the book and the author. And for the second... Oh yeah, I came up okay. You can see my toaster. The second book cover. Again, title and author, please. Hopefully you can see that. I'll wiggle it around to try and make it look as good as possible. Black covers, Ian. Come on. Don't use black covers. Not helpful. Can't see it at all. Okay.
Oh no.
Disaster. We'll try it again. And I'll try and...
There's not much to this cover.
There's
though,
not much
to be
to it.
honest.
There's
Like,
not much
this is,
going on.
It's
It's a black, very black cover. There's 4 white lines across the middle that I have used to block out the name of the book and the author.
and it's just blurred colours around it. So
And it's
not
just blurred colours.
much
So
detail.
there's not an awful lot going on there. I'll move that defined bit a bit closer.
I wouldn't say there's anything major that gives it away that you're missing from
Yeah.
it.
So that was the first one again. If a majority of people can't see it, we can scratch those 2 and just go for the other 3. This was the second book again. I'll try and show it in pieces. My fault for not listening to myself last week.
I could post the picture on the comments.
You
Post the cover on the comments.
could.
I'll sort it out.
Book number 3. Hopefully this is a little bit easier. Although, not an awful lot to go on. That is book number 3. We're looking for the author and the title of the book. Okay? Not much to go on, but that's the whole point of the game. It's not meant to be easy. Book number 4. This is a tough one, I think, depending on how Scottish you may be. What is the title of this book? I would like the full title, and I would like the author. Okay, I'll hold up for a little longer just so you can get a good look at what it is. I would like the full title of the book and the author, please. Okay, last one. And this is a tough one because this is the original book cover from what I could understand. And I think there's a few other book covers out there. But this is... Oh, I lost it. Almost gave you the answer there. This is the last book that we're going to do. I'll give you an up-close picture of the bottom of it. That's what we're looking for. Okay. Those were all 5 of the books. If you need any of them shown again, I can do that. Alternatively, Susie is doing her best to try and do what I just did and cover them all up because it's on my computer. That would have been easy. But so that's all the book rounds. There should be 10 answers available there. We want title of the book and author of the book. Okay? 2 points apiece. 10 points available for that one, okay? We will move on to round number 3. This is a big one. 14 points available here if you know your TV scores. The first question in television is, who is the presenter of University Challenge since 1994? University Challenge, who's the presenter? I quite like University Challenge because, well, I never get any of the questions right because they're really difficult, but
Don't say.
I'm doing my best not to
Don't
say
give
his
the
name.
answer away.
But the presenter of University Challenge, let's just say it is me, because I'm asking questions too. So he will say to his audience, "What is the name of the University Challenge presenter?" And then you guys will say, "Oh, it's that guy John Smith down the road," and he'll be like, "Come on, guys, it's clearly Ian. How do you not know this?" And like nobody knows the answer because it's really difficult, and he only knows it because it's written down. It's like, "Come on, guy, girl, whatever your name is." Nobody knows the answer to that question. So who is the presenter of University Challenge since 1994? And for a bonus point for any super fans out there, who is their predecessor? I will be mighty impressed if anybody could tell me the answer to that question. It's news to me. Who is the presenter of University Challenge since 1994? And who is their predecessor? Next up, for all you Doctor Who fans out there, can you tell me the name of the current Doctor and the previous 4 Doctors, preferably in order of appearance? So there's 5 points available there. The current Doctor of Doctor Who and the previous 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, I will give you a little bit of time to write down those names because there should be 5 people's names. I need their first name and their last name. not just their first name. And 5 times Doctor Who does not count. Okay? Current Doctor Who, previous Doctor Who, the one before that one, no. I need 5 names for 5 points. Cool? We got all those written down? 5 answers for Doctor Who. Then we will move on to question number 3. A TV program I have never watched before. I would like to keep it that way. Who does the voiceover for Love Island? And for bonus points, what was the name of the kids' TV show they hosted prior to that? Yeah? The person who voices Love Island also hosted a kids' TV program in the past. So, hopefully you know the answer. There's 2 points available there. Who does the voiceover for Love Island? And what was the name of the kids' TV program that they presented prior to this, to Love Island? 2 points available there. If you know it, again, I'll be pretty impressed if you know both of them. If you know one, you might not know the other. Okay, next up, still on the TV category. Before I ask the question, I'm going to stipulate right now, I need full names for the answer. Ian and Susie is not a correct answer. We need surnames, okay? The question is, what sitcom is set in the Craiglang area of Glasgow? And what are the main characters called? So what is the name of the show? And what are the 2 main characters called? And I need full names. If you say Susie, you get no points. If you say Ian, you get no points. We need full names, please. I'm doing that, saying that for your sake as much as mine. If you know the answer, but you only write down the first bit and then you don't say it, you're not going to get the point at the end. So you need to write down the full answer for the full points. I'll read it again. What sitcom is set in the Craiglang area of Glasgow? And what are the main characters called? Last question in TV. So there's actually three points available there. 1, 2, 3. 3 points available. Last question in the TV category. Who followed Mel and Sue as presenters of the Great British Bake Off? 2 people, and again, full names please. 2 points available, but I need the first name and the last name of both of those 2 people. Who followed Mel and Sue as presenters of the Great British Bake Off? Fun fact, when I was writing out this question, I started writing out the surnames of Mel and Sue, and Mel's name is rather awkward, difficult to spell, and I didn't want to make a fool of myself pronouncing it, so I just left it as Mel and Sue instead of...
People know them as Mel and Sue, though.
Most people know them as Mel and Sue.
Yeah.
So I didn't want to confuse yourself as well as embarrass myself, because you know me, I hate embarrassing myself. 14 points available for the TV round. So please make sure you have every answer written down. If you need anything reread, please do let me know. Otherwise, quick as a flash, we're halfway through the quiz. 3 rounds down, 3 rounds to go. If you need to freshen up your beverage, now is your chance. Otherwise, we'll move on. Susie is trying to do the 2 book covers that we did first.
Yes.
And she's uploading them to the Facebook page. So if you missed the 2 first book covers, you can have a look on the Facebook page and you can see them both there. Somebody has said a bit harsh on question 4. Well, Stuart.
Yes, I agree. This is quite harsh.
Well,
because I couldn't get the surnames when I tried to do the quiz earlier.
You live in Glasgow, so if anything, you have an advantage.
You have to watch the show a lot to remember their... Anyway.
Yep. Harsh as it may be, unfortunately, them are the rules. I make up the rules, unless I'm overruled, which does occasionally happen from time to time. Okay, halfway mark. We're going to move on. Round number 4 is titled, Where Would You Find? So the first question is, where would you find the Beatrix Potter attraction and gallery? Okay? I want you to be fairly specific, but it doesn't have to be the actual address. Okay? No, sure. I'm not taking any more arguments, alright?
Half points. I think half points is a great idea.
I'm putting my foot down.
I think half points is a good idea.
Foot down. No half points for question number 4
Well, I think
in
not,
TV.
I think not many people will get that then.
Good. True fans.
Did you know?
Did I know? Of course I didn't know. However, we need to make sure that there's some, what's the word? Something to separate the
field.
The field. That's what I was going for. So no, unfortunately, that question, harsh as it may be,
No half points for
points.
just the first names.
Just the first names. You can write it down, you can feel good about yourself for knowing the first names, but no half points.
I would have given half points.
Well, Susie's a gentle little lady. I'm not a gentle little lady. Or any kind of lady. Sorry, it's actually Maureen, my aunt-in-law, who's giving me stick about...
Yeah, no, I think, yeah.
Yeah, well,
Okay.
you don't have to give me a birthday present. Where did I get to?
Question 2.
Question 1.
Repeat question 1.
I'll repeat question 1 because I've been having an argument with my aunt-in-law.
Round 4.
The Beatrix Potter Attraction and Art Gallery. Where would you find it? You can be fairly specific. The more specific you can be, the better. That way you're more likely to get the points. Question number 2. We have 3 choices. Okay? So wait until you hear the choices unless you know 100% the answer. In which ocean would you find the Galapagos Islands? Is it A, Atlantic, B, Pacific, or C, Indian? The Atlantic Ocean, the Pacific Ocean, or the Indian Ocean? In which ocean would you find the Galapagos Islands? Cool. Question 3. Where would you find? In which US state would you find Fort Knox? Just thought of a really good bonus question, but...
You can add it in.
Right, I'm going to add in a question
on
now,
the
just
fly?
on the fly, because that's how we roll. Although, no, I'm not, because I'm not 100% sure if the answer's right.
Well, write it down and I'll Google it.
Right, okay.
And then I'll write the answer down.
Google it real quick. We'll come back to that. I'll add it at the end. We're just checking. Otherwise, we might take this up to a 51 pointer. Yes, okay, right. So, in which US state would you find Fort Knox? And for a bonus point, which James Bond film is associated with Fort Knox? Okay. So, in which US state would you find Fort Knox? You have a 1 in 50 guess, 1 in 50 chance of getting it right. And also, which James Bond film is associated with Fort Knox? Okay. 2 points available there, and one of them I just pulled out of thin air because we can do that. Paul is taking advantage of the fact that he has my personal phone number and is now sending me WhatsApp messages to say that he knows the James Bond film. He's a James Bond fan. Okay, so moving on after we established what was going on there. Question number 4. Where would you find the Machu Picchu ruins? I don't know. You tell me. 1 point available there. It could be that 1 point that wins you the game. Where would you find the Machu Picchu ruins? Cool. Last question of where would you find is in which Spanish city would you find a Sagrada Familia? Do you want to type that in just because my pronunciation might not be very good? Or does
That is how you pronounce it.
Indeed, but it might be. Where would you find, in which
Sagrada Familia.
Spanish city would you find La Sagrada Familia? La Sagrada Familia, is that what I said? I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cool. There's not many
I think a
Spanish
lot of people
cities,
will
so most people will know. Okay, fine. Well, there's an easy one for you to counteract my really tough one in the TV program. So that's the end of the Where Would You Find category, which is now out of 6 points. 6 questions. 6 points. That's one of the challenges that we have when we're doing the quiz. Kind of like when we're doing the classes. We know that some people are doing this quiz with young kids, with teenagers, and then we've got other people who are slightly older and therefore have perhaps a wider experience. Man, I'm trying hard not to be ageist here.
More life experience.
Indeed, but they might not be so involved in the younger people things. Paul, come on. Pay attention. Question number 2 of where would you find? There was 3 options. The question was, in which ocean would you find the Galapagos Islands? Atlantic Ocean, Pacific Ocean, or Indian Ocean? A, B, or C? Okay. And then we had the James Bond Fort Knox question. Cool. So that is the Where Would You Find section done. And we do our best to try and accommodate for everybody. Older,
A wide range of questions.
younger, ladies, females, men's, gentlemen's, and everybody else. We're all welcome here. Again, you guys only have to suffer a couple of hours a week. This poor girl has to live with it.
Week 10.
Week 10. Week 10. Boop boop. Party. Next up, we have the movies section. When I was doing this earlier, I was doing some research and seeing if other people had any suggestions of movie questions, and one popped up from last week, which was, what is the name of the tower in Die Hard? And it was, of course, the Nakatomi Plaza. Don't worry, no Die Hard questions tonight. There's not even a Die Hard round, as Paul requested. But the movies. So, the first movies question is worth 3 points. Feel free to correct me if I'm wrong. However, from my understanding, 6 people have played Batman in Batman movies. Please name 3. My mother-in-law has said that we are walking on thin ice.
Not we.
What?
I
This
think,
is a team game.
I think
If I'm going down, you're coming with me.
I think if she's saying you're walking on thin ice, it's because you were saying life experience.
As a compliment.
Trying to think of more questions for people's life experience.
Don't use the O word. So
My sister just messaged me saying, is Ian on the bevy?
it's an alcohol-free Budweiser. Ian doesn't really
You
drink
are a bit
alcohol.
over chatty tonight.
Am I?
Yeah, it's like you're being a chatty guy.
Apologies, I will slow down.
He's not on the sauce.
He's not on the sauce. Very rarely is Ian on the sauce.
Oh my gosh.
I didn't even know they were here. So I will repeat that question. 6 people have played Batman in Batman movies. Please name 3 Batmen.
3 Batman.
3 points available there. Moving on. Question 2. This is a prime example of how the questions have to vary for different age categories. In The Little Mermaid, what was Sebastian? Other than a pretty cool name.
And also because we can't go a whole quiz without not having at least one Disney question.
That too. However, for the first time,
No Harry Potter question.
no Harry Potter questions. Unless I think of some way I can just squeeze one in. Where'd I get to? In The Little Mermaid, what is Sebastian? Question number 3. You've Got a Friend in Me is a song from which movie? And for a bonus point, who wrote it? You've Got a Friend in Me is from which movie? And who wrote it? 2 points available there if you know the answer to that. Moving on. Question 4. What is the name of the newest, yet to be released James Bond film? I think it was meant to be out last month. They have now postponed it to November. What is the name of the newest, yet to be released James Bond film? Okay. There was a lot of hype at the start of the year, and now it's obviously gone a little bit quiet, which is understandable, so you may have to dig a little deeper into that memory. Why are you staring at me?
I just waited to see what you were going to say. What are you going to say?
I can see her staring at me. It's like, feel it burning into the side of my skull. It's okay, I've got the hair protection.
I was like, this isn't a fun fact. What's coming?
I don't have any James Bond.
Yeah,
fun
people will
facts.
need to remember, think back.
You'll need to think back.
What the movie was going to be. Yeah, called. Yeah.
Last question of movies. We can't go a quiz without doing an anagram. So you may wish to write this down. Susie's going to type it into the comments section.
Yeah.
The anagram is a periodical donor. A periodical donor. Make sure you spell it right this week.
Yep, or else it won't work.
Letter A, periodical donor. Write it down, jumble it up, and make a word that has to do with movies.
Yeah, so you're not telling people like what it is specifically.
It is relation to movies.
Okay, that's all people are getting.
Sorry again. I'm pretty sure we did one week where we just gave you no clues.
Yes.
Is that the garlic bread week or?
Yep.
I don't know. And so that's the end of our movies round. There are 8 points available there. And then we'll move on to the final round, which is supposedly general knowledge. Paul has said there's been at least 4 times when he's expected me to give the answer away. Well, Paul, there's still time. Don't worry. It's not over till it's over. So, general knowledge rounds. What song and by whom is synonymous with Formula 1? What song is synonymous with Formula 1 and who wrote it? Okay, so 2 points available there. If you're a Formula 1 fan, you probably know it well. If you're not, take a stab in the dark. It's quite a famous song. What song is synonymous with Formula 1 and who wrote it? Question 2. Mary Poppins is nanny to which? Yeah? Mary Poppins is nanny to which family? Cool. Next one, real tough one. If you have young kids, you may have a slight advantage here. Question 3, in general knowledge. What?
Definitely not general knowledge.
Definitely not general knowledge.
No.
What is Postman Pat's surname? And as Susie said earlier, is it just Pat? Is Postman not his first name?
First name Postman, last name Pat.
It is not.
It's not. Don't write Pat.
Don't write Pat. That is negative 1 point. What is Postman Pat's surname? If you don't know, I will maybe give a bonus point to the most non-crude creative answer. Okay?
So people just to guess his surname basically.
Just guess his surname if you don't know. If you do know, well done, you're on the road to victory. Question 5, the second last question of the quiz. What is the Roman numeral for 50? 50. What is the Roman numeral for 50? Cool. Last question. Supposedly general knowledge. Very tenuous links to general knowledge, as always. In Beatrix Potter's books, what is the name of the hedgehog? I like hedgehogs. They're kind of cool. In Beatrix Potter's books, what is the name of the hedgehog? Cool. So there are 6 points available for the general knowledge round. So make sure you've got 6 answers written down. If you need anything reread, then don't worry. We are about to go through them all over again from the very start. And I will give you the answers after a short pause to give you time to write down your answer if you missed it. When we get to the books round, I will show the covers again. However, the first two covers, which some people might not have seen, are on the page if you need a reminder. Otherwise, grab yourself a quick drink, strap on your boots, and let's get ready for some answers. Where did we start? We started with sports. The very first question was, the 2019 Solheim Cup took place where and who won? Well, I can tell you that the 2019 Solheim Cup took place in Gleneagles, and it was won by Europe. I was going to do a bonus point question of who putted, scored, sunk. I don't know, who made the last putt to win it overall. But I didn't, because I thought that was a bit too hard. And I'm glad I didn't, because I've already gotten stick tonight about how hard some of the questions are. So, Gleneagles for 1 point, and Europe for another. Question 2. Which English golfer won the US Open in 2013? And that was Justin Rose. 1 point for Justin Rose. If you just wrote Justin, no points. You've got to give me a surname, because Justin could be anybody. Isn't that right, Maureen? Question 3. Whose ear did Mike Tyson nibble during their fight in 1997? Well, by nibble, I'm being a little bit generous. He did absolutely assault the poor man and tore his ear off. Oh. It was Evander Holyfield. 1 point for Evander Holyfield. Question 4. What horse won the 2020 Virtual Grand National? Your options were A. Tiger Roll, B. Walk in the Mill, or C. Potter's Corner. The answer to that is C. Potter's Corner won the 2020 Virtual Grand National. 1 point for Potter's Corner. Last question, which is also seems a bit educational. The last question was, at the opening ceremony for the Olympic Games, the teams parade in alphabetical order, with which two exceptions? The first exception is Greece. So 1 point if you said Greece. And their exception is that they always go out first in honour for their contribution to the Olympics. You don't have to have said that, but Greece for 1 point. And the other exception is the host nation, who come out last so they don't steal the attention from everybody else. So 1 point for Greece, 1 point for host nation, and you're welcome for that educational fact. I do like to help people learn. And I was learning too about how to be a quizmaster. Question. Do you think the BBC would pay me to do this though?
Absolutely not. I don't think so.
That's how it's 7 points. I'll cry on my own later, don't worry. So mark yourselves out of 7, please. Now we'll move on to the books, where there are 10 points available here. Remember, if you didn't see the first two covers, they're on the page.
Yeah, they're just on our Facebook page. I put up a fresh post.
A fresh post on the homepage.
Yeah.
Cool. Otherwise, I'll give you a quick glance at what they looked like. So this was book number 1. Not much to see. Really, I've put big white blocks over the main picture and the author. So, book number 1 looks like that, and that was The Girl in the Train by Paula Hawkins. 1 point for Girl in the Train, 1 point for Paula Hawkins. Book number 2 looks a little like this. Cool. Well, as you may be able to guess from the picture, it is a girl and the girl has a dragon tattoo on her back. So the book is called The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo, and the author is Stieg Larsson. So 1 point for Girl with the Dragon Tattoo, and 1 point for Stieg Larsson. Book number 3, a little bit easier to see, I think, but not much to see. Just a big fish and a boat. And the clue is kind of in the boat, but you can't really see that it's an old man. And it's Old Man and the Sea by Ernest Hemingway. I haven't even showed you the actual books. I'll show you afterwards. Book number 4. Very Scottish. Looks like this. And the answer is Katie Morag and the Big Boy Cousins by Mary Hedderwick. I forgot to show you the pictures without the stuff removed. So that was the answer to book number 4. 1 point for Katie Morag and the Big Boy Cousins. 1 point for Mary Hedderwick. If you're not Scottish, you may have never ever heard of them, which is understandable. There's the girl on the train. That's what it looks like when I've not abused it. That's what Dragon Tattoo looks like. That's what Old Man and Sea looks like. And you just saw the other one. The last question. This one. Not much to go on. Blueface with a city. The answer was The Great Gatsby by F. Scott Fitzgerald. So that's all the books. Mark yourselves out of 10. Author and title of the book. 10 points available there. Any questions? Let me know. Otherwise, give yourselves marks out of 10. I will move on to TV. There was 2 points available for this one. For anybody who knew the answer. I'll leave it at that. Who was the presenter of University Challenge since 1994? And who was their predecessor? Well, I can tell you that the presenter of University Challenge is Jeremy Paxman. And their predecessor was a guy called Bamber Gascoigne. And he presented it from 1962 to 1987. If you knew Bamber Gascoigne, give yourself a bonus point, a round of applause, and a high five from me, because I thought that was a tough question. But that was because he stopped presenting it 2 years before I was born. So there's not really much surprise I didn't see it. 2 points available for that. 1 if you got Jeremy Paxman. Good going if you got Jeremy Paxman. He was the guy that he's always asked the question, and then when somebody gets it wrong, he's like, come on, how did you not know that? And he only knows it because it's written down in front of him. Yeah, he could be a very clever guy. Don't know, but that's what it seems like. Question 2 in TV. Doctor Who fans out there. Name the current Doctor and the previous 4 Doctors from Doctor Who. 5 names, please. If you didn't write them down, I'll give you a second to write them down now. The current Doctor and the previous 4 Doctors. Carol, are you saying that you knew who Bamber Gascoigne was? Well done. Very well done. You're not that old. You're not that old either. Well done if you got Bamber Gascoigne. Give yourself a point. That could be you in the leads. That could be you winning. Doctor Who question. So the current Doctor is Jodie Whittaker. Prior to that was Peter Capaldi, who, I only just found out, is related to Lewis Capaldi. Yep. Fun fact of the day. Prior to that was Matt Smith. Then David Tennant. And then Christopher Eccleston. Those 5 names for 5 points. If you only got 1 or 2 or 3 of them, then 1, 2 or 3 points. Those were the 5 previous and current Doctor Who's. A lot of people seem to get Bamber Gascoigne. Very, very well done to you. Good general knowledge and television skills. You should be proud. Question 3, TV. Who does the voiceover for Love Island? And what was the name of the kids' TV show they hosted prior to that? If anybody knows the kids' TV program, let me know, because that's... For a while, Susie was watching it with breakfast. Came down in the morning like, what are you watching?
It's really good.
Well, I can tell you that Ian Sterling does the voiceover for Love Island. Ian Sterling. And the name of the kids' TV show that he did before that was called The Dog Ate My Homework. A little bit of a change, but hey, he was good at it. So 1 point for Ian Sterling and 1 point for The Dog Ate My Homework. It would appear we also have a few Doctor Who fans in the house, so well done in getting 5 points for that. So you could be 5 points closer to the title from this week. Okay, moving on to the extremely controversial question number 4. What? And I haven't changed my opinion. I haven't changed my mind. The rules remain as are. Let's just go back to the question before. I said, who does the voiceover for Love Island? If you wrote down Ian, that is wrong. If you wrote down Ian Sterling, you get a point. So question 4. What is the sitcom set in the Craig Lang area of Glasgow? And what are the main characters called? So of course, the sitcom is called Still Game. And the main characters are called Jack and Victor. But if you say Jack and Victor, you get no points.
They're known as Jack and Victor, though.
Indeed.
That's like what they refer to them as, Jack and Victor.
But if I asked what was the family called in The Simpsons, and you said, oh, I know their first name is Homer and Marge, well, A, you'd be an idiot because name's in title, but B, that's not what I asked.
That's not comparable. Anyway, carry on.
We want Jack Jarvis and Victor McDade.
Well, I'll be impressed if anyone got that.
I'm sure there'll be some people that got that. 3 points available there. 1 point for Still Game, 1 point for Jack Jarvis, and 1 point for Victor McDade. 0 points for Jack and Victor. Okay, you can be happy that you got Jack and Victor.
So harsh. So harsh.
Harsh is my middle name.
Yep.
It's not. I'm a really nice guy, but rules are rules.
Ouch. Okay.
Names be names. Last question. TV.
So the same applies for question 5, right?
Correct.
Okay, here we go.
Correct. Let's just assume going forwards,
You need first and
you
surname.
need first and last names.
Last name for everything. Okay.
Unless it's like Beyonce. In which
She's only
case...
got one name.
See, we've already got... Well, she doesn't. Her last name's Knowles.
But her artist name is just
I know,
Beyonce.
but her name is Beyonce Knowles. Anyway, one person at least knows Jack and Victor's full name, so very well done to the Renegades. You guys might be onto a winner here.
And Owen.
And
Owen
Owen?
and Alison.
Oh, I didn't even know they were here. Oh, Alison, did you... Never mind. I'm just going to confuse if I go back a question.
Alison will have got the Solheim Cup
She
and
probably would have done.
Justin Rose.
Should have gotten my bonus question I was going to ask.
Anyway, question 5 from the TV round. Round 3, question 5.
Yeah. Who followed Mel and Sue as the presenters of the Great British Bake Off? And the only reason I didn't put their surnames is because I couldn't... oh, look, she got it! Suzanne Patterson. She's right, Patterson.
Yeah, for the final putt.
Well done. Who followed Mel and Sue as presenters of the Great British Bake Off? The only reason I put their surnames is because I couldn't pronounce it. Not because I didn't know it. The answer to that is Sandy Toksvig and Noel Fielding. 1 point for Sandy Toksvig and 1 point for Noel Fielding. No points for Sandy and Noel. Cool. So there's 14 points available for the TV round. So mark yourselves out of 14 because there is 5 for the Doctor Who.
Yep, that's a big round.
And 2 for all the other ones. So 14 points there. That's us halfway through the answers. I think it took us longer to get through the answers than it did to get us through the questions originally. Whose fault is that? Where will you find the Beatrix Potter attraction and gallery? So the answer I have written down here is the Lake District in England. You could have been more specific and said certain areas within the Lake District if you did. Well done, but just Lake District will do fine. Question 2. In which ocean would you find the Galapagos Islands? Was it A, Atlantic, B, Pacific, or C, Indian? Well, I can tell you that it is B, the Pacific Ocean. The Galapagos Islands are found in the Pacific Ocean. Question 2, which had a bonus question that we thought of on the spot. In which US state would you find... What?
Question 3.
What did I say?
Question 2.
Oh, did I? Question 3.
Question 3.
In which US state would you find Fort Knox? And which James Bond film is associated with Fort Knox? So I can tell you that Fort Knox is found in Kentucky Fried Chicken, the state of Kentucky, and Goldfinger is the film in which Sean Connery saves the day and protects Goldfinger from stealing all the gold from Fort Knox. And he drives, I think that's the first film in which you see the Aston Martin DB5, which is just... If anybody wants to buy me a birthday present, you can give me one of them. That'd be appreciated.
I thought you were going to say like the James Bond collection of movies or something.
Well, that too.
No, just straight in there.
Just
with,
straight
can
up
you buy me an
DB5.
Aston Martin?
Go big or go home. Kentucky and Goldfinger. 2 points available there. Where would you find Machu Picchu ruins? Where would you find the Machu Picchu ruins? You would find the Machu Picchu ruins in Peru. Susie said Chile earlier when I quizzed her on it, which is pretty close. They are very, very close to each other, but the correct answer is Peru. 1 point for Peru. Last question. In which Spanish city would you find La Sagrada Familia? You would find La Sagrada Familia in Barcelona.
I have a fun fact for once.
Susie's got a fun fact. Ding, 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 ding.
They started construction in 1882 and they're still constructing.
Taking their time. Well, there you go. Fun fact of the day. Who says these quizzes aren't educational? 1882, and they're still going. 6 points available for the Where Would You Find round. Mark yourselves out of 6, and we will move on toot sweet to the movies round. First question was 6 people have played Batman in the Batman movies. Can you please name me 3 Batmen? I would have taken any of the following 3. Adam West, Michael Keaton, Val Kilmer, George Clooney, Christian Bale, and Ben Affleck. Okay. Yes, I'm aware that a child actor played Bruce Wayne in the newest Joker film. However, at that point, Bruce Wayne wouldn't have been Batman, so therefore, I asked who played Batman. That answer wouldn't have been correct. There's also a new Batman, but it hasn't out yet.
Robert Pattinson. From Twilight movies.
Which was meant to be filmed in Glasgow, but I don't know if that ever got it done. So, Adam West, Michael Keaton, Val Kilmer, George Clooney, Christian Bale, or Ben Affleck. Any of those 3, give yourself 3 points. Question 2. In The Little Mermaid, what is Sebastian? And Sebastian is a crab. 1 point for a crab. Question 3. You've Got a Friend in Me is from which film and who wrote it? Well, I can tell you. You. You've Got a Friend in Me is from Toy Story, and it was written by Randy Newman. It's not helpful when somebody's sitting next to you just laughing at you the whole time. Stop making mistakes. Toy Story and Randy Newman. 2 points available there. Question 4. Another Jimmy B film. What is the name of the newest yet to be released James Bond film? And that was No Time to Die. Which hopefully will come out in November. And we can all watch it. And see if it's any good. Oh, the anagram. Last one was the anagram. The anagram for movies was a periodical donor. Okay, so you had to jumble them all up and bring out a word. And we were actually looking for an actor periodical donor, an actor, was Leonardo DiCaprio. If you got Leonardo DiCaprio, very well done, 1 point.
Yep.
If you just wrote Leonardo, nil point. Not going to let that go. That was out of 8 points. So mark yourselves out of 8. And we'll move on to the final round of general knowledge. First question was, what song is synonymous with Formula 1 and who wrote it? What song is synonymous with Formula 1 and who wrote it? If you're a Formula 1 fan, you've probably heard it a lot. Doesn't necessarily mean you know what it's called, but the song is The Chain and it is by Fleetwood Mac. Maureen or Stuart are saying I could have given you a clue that it was an actor. You are quite right. I could have, but I didn't because I'm harsh
You're
like that.
challenging people tonight.
I'm not.
challenging.
If I make it too easy, we'll have everybody at the end with 51 points
And a big tiebreaker.
and a big tiebreaker. So we need to make sure there is some challenge in there. Okay? I want you to get some wrong. In the nicest possible way. The Chain by Fleetwood Mac. For 2 points. Mary Poppins is nanny to which family? And I know there's a Banks family participating. So if you said the Banks family for Mary Poppins, you are quite correct. I wonder if the Banks family has their own Mary Poppins? I don't know. And arguably the hardest question in the whole quiz tonight. What is Postman Pat's surname?
That is the hardest question, I think.
Total news to me, and I'm not sure in which book or episode you had to read or watch to
be
know
told
this.
that.
But supposedly, Postman Pat's surname is Clifton.
Did anyone get that?
Let us know if you got Pat Clifton. That's on his resume. Pat Clifton, postman. If you got that, 1 point and a round of applause, and let us know if you did so we can give you a very knowledgeable mention. Question 4. What is the Roman numeral for 50? And that is L. L. I don't know which way it's mirrored. Letter L for 50. 50. Well done if you got that. Final question. In the Beatrix Potter's books, what is the name of the hedgehog? The hedgehog is Mrs. Tiggywinkle. 1 point for Mrs. Tiggywinkle. Very well done. If you got that. 6 points available in the general knowledge round. Please add up all your scores. There is a maximum of 51 points available. Write down in the comment section how many points you and your team got. And then hopefully we can announce a winner. If not, we have a new tiebreaker question. And it's not a fastest finger first, so we'll just see what happens and use it if we need it. So, quick as you can, fast maths, count up all your points, put them in the comment section, and we'll see if we have a winner chicken dinner tonight. The Dawsons won it last week. We have 4-time champions, the Purvises in here somewhere. The Baileys won it 1 week. There's been some more winners than that, but sorry, I've forgotten. The Dawsons were rubbish tonight with 35, they said.
Oh, that's good.
That's not bad. That's not bad. That's not bad. Team OJ got 33. Could have been 34 if I'd put that bonus point question in, but 33.
Renegades have got 40.
Renegades
so
have
that's
got
the
40. So 40 is...
current leader is 40.
Wow. Simon and Tracy got 28. That's not bad. Oh, the Frasers have got 41. Renegades have been trumped. So, joint winners from previous. 34 for the Baileys.
Karen Allen got 28. Well done.
Karen Allen got 28.
O'Neill's
Pretty
28.
good. Any more scores? Fire away. We're still missing a few. Feel free to enter your score in twice because sometimes we don't really see them all that clearly. Currently, we're on 41 with Team Fraser. They may be on their way to being 2 times champions, although first time was a joint champs. We'll give you another 30 seconds to do fast maths and write your score in. If we haven't said your name and your score out, please just put it in again. Otherwise,
we're still missing.
We're still missing a few. Purvis family.
We'll just refresh.
What did Paul get?
Let us refresh our page.
What did the Pittums get? Or are you all still counting?
Here we go. So we've got some more in. So Pittum's got 39. Well done. McGee's 34.
That's not bad. We've got some pretty high scores. Very well done. Oh my goodness, they've done it again.
Oh.
The Purvis family have come in at the last minute with 42. And I think, once again, they're going to be crowned 5 times champions. Unless somebody else is going to come in and snatch it from them right at the finish. If you got more than 42 points, or if you got 42 points and I haven't said your name, please shout out real quick. Otherwise, for the 5th time, I think, the winners of this week's quiz is the Purvis family. Very well done.
Well done.
Some tough questions in there. Some high scores, some close scores. We had a couple of 41s, 42s, 40s, 39s.
The Reeves got 35. Well done.
Well done, Paul and family.
Rio.
Good job. But 42, the winners for the 5th time. Very, very well done. 42 points for the Purvises. Thank you for everybody for coming to join us. We do appreciate you coming back every week and keeping us company while we make fools of myself. Have yourselves a wonderful night, a wonderful weekend, and we'll have another quiz next week. We'll have more classes next week. If you have any requests for categories or anything, just let us know. If there's anything you want to talk about or classes you want to see, fire away. Otherwise, go and get the weekend started. Bunch of superstars. Well done to the Purvises again. And we'll see you all very soon. Well done.
Thank you.